Hello everyone, Michael here. Really exciting news today. I think I just deployed a big feature which I want to show you today. It took quite a bit of brain power to develop this, but I think it's gonna help you out a lot. And I'm gonna give you 3 or 4 specific use cases that this is gonna help you search and find RFQs much more easier. This is gonna take care of if you want to search by parts, if you want to search by your prior contracts, so much more. So I don't want to give you too many hints, but let's just call it advanced searching in Loocey, and I'll jump on a computer and show you how it works. But basically, this is gonna open up so much more searching, filtering for you. I'm just really excited. Let's see how it works. Let's jump onto the computer and go from there. Okay guys, super excited about this feature. Let's get to it. So the new feature is advanced relational searching in Loocey. What does that mean? It means being able to search based on related data to RFQs, to other parts of the application. So this is a global feature. It's going to work on not only the RFQs page, but also globally, and I'll show you in a second. What do I mean by that? So first of all, we all are familiar with Loocey filters. They are pretty advanced, right? You can create a filter based on any column, any combination of things, and search. The trouble is, what if you want to search by data that's like hidden inside another table? For instance, if you want to search by part number. So we know when we open up the NSNs, let's say this guy here, we're gonna see the part numbers associated with this NSNs. These are the approved parts. So in this case, this is the part number, right? So a lot of companies want to be able to search by the part numbers and be able to maybe enter bulk of them and search and see if there's anything open for the part numbers that you have relationships with, right? And again, it could be different part numbers. I'm gonna actually grab a few of these so we can use for example. So I think I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna do one more. Let's do this. So how do you search by this? Again, when it comes to the main table, our search filters were always pretty advanced, and we kept adding new features. And you might have noticed, or you might not have noticed, but now like the checkbox, columns will show you checked, unchecked. So you can select it, right? Or we also have, if you want to say approved source cages, or maybe NSN. Oops. NSN. We have a few new ones here, like starts with any, right? You could do a list of any, or we have like ends with any. So anyway, I think there's videos for this that you can go watch. But as you know, our filters were always advanced. But what you will notice soon, actually, it's probably deployed by the time I release this video. There's now this related data filters. What does that mean? So just know that technically searching, by the data that's kind of related, we call this related data, right? Which is like data that's available other parts of in the internal records or things like that, right? So we want to be able to, technically this is a pretty complex thing, but we've made it hopefully that in a way that's really user friendly, that anyone can use. Again, as our goal here, I put this, our number one, this is the first one I'm going to show you, and then we have a few more examples, right? So be sure to stay tuned for the other examples. But first, I want to be able to search by the part numbers. These are the 3 part numbers I just copied over from various records, right? How would I do that? Again, currently there was no way to do this in Loocey, at least easily, right? But now with this related data filters, let's see how this works. So I go to this tab, I do the same thing, got filter, but now this is a little different, right? Well, not too much different, hopefully. But the first option, you wanna select the related data. Now, if you open this drop down, again, it's really important to know where your data is that you're trying to search by, right? We know that our DLA approved parts table or list contains our approved parts, and we just basically, this is showing you all the relationships that are available with this RFQs table, right? And without making it too technical, all you have to do is really just almost guess, right? So as what is that data? We know that if we open NSN dialog, right, we see the parts. So then most likely scenario is that we go from NSN parts, and then there's the approved parts table here. So I'm gonna select this. Again, I think if you just guess where your data lives, or you can always go check where that data is, right, and then be able to come back here, and then now it's gonna give you a drop down of the columns inside that table, not the main RFQs table, but the columns inside that table, right? So in this case, we want the part number. We can do equal, and all these filters work the same way, which is really nice. I think this is the new part. The rest of it you should be pretty familiar with using Loocey, right? The rest of it works almost exactly the same, right? So I can do in, and then I'm gonna give the list of part numbers we just copied over, right? And then I'm gonna hit apply. Again, I have this is the first time I'm doing this. We know that at least 3 records had these part numbers, but now see there's 7 open RFQs that have these part numbers, and if you wanted to confirm here, I'll put these are the part numbers we have. If we open any of these dialogues, we should see the part numbers, at least one of them match with one of these. So this is matching with this. Okay, good. We open, let's try one more time. Okay, so this is let's see what's okay, this is matching with this. So as you can see, now this is 3 level down. Technically speaking, this data is associated with the NSM part, and then NSM part is associated with the daily RFQs table. So this is 3 level down, and now you can easily search going down to multiple levels, right? And saving the filters works the same way. I'm gonna save this, I'm gonna call it my parts, right? And then now this will kind of stay here for me, and next day I go in again, just like all the other filters. They usually wouldn't select anything in the, although you could do combination, right? If I want to create filters here and also combine it with the related filters, I could do that. But at a minimum, it's gonna basically search those. So I think this is really cool. Again, I know it sounds simple, but technically this was really a challenging achievement, I think, for our team, and took a lot of brain power to create this. But we are not done yet. Let me show you a couple of other use cases. Again, this opens up so many doors you don't even know, right? Let me show you a couple of other examples. So this is part numbers, but let's try something else. For this example, I'm gonna say I want number 2. If I want to search by my prior awards or even a competitor's prior awards, how would I do that? So I've had this request many times. You want to be able to search by your prior awards. In other words, if you had won a contract before for any number of NSNs, you want to quickly search and see if there's anything open now matching your cage code. Not necessarily the cage code, but basically any contracts you had won before. Let's say you had won 10 parts or 10 NSNs. basically you want to automatically search those 10 NSNs to see if there's anything open for those same ones, so you can go and bid on them again, right? Again, this has been a really multiple people have asked for this, so I think hopefully this video will show you how to do this now with this advanced searching, right? So let me show you how this works now. So for this example, we are gonna need a cage code of someone, which we could assume that it's your cage code or your competitor's cage code. Unfortunately, this works both ways. You could search your own winnings, awards, or you could search your competitor's awards and cage code and see if if they basically, if there are any open contracts for them. So for this example, I'm gonna select this cage code, let's say, right? Let's say you are this company, right? And you basically want to see if there's anything open for you. Again, I randomly selected this company. We could even try another company if we wanted to. Let's try this one, and we can all go to the history. Again, from the history, any cage code will work, because we are saying that we are basically saying if as long as you have one contract in the past for this NSN, right? Once we are done with our filters, this NSN should come up for you, because you have at least one award in the history for this NSN, right? Your prior awards. So then we want to be able to see any open contracts or open RFQs matching with our cage code or our competitor's cage code. Let's assume, so we took down a few examples. These are the cage codes. So let's see how this will work, right? We're gonna go back to RFQs, all RFQs again. We're gonna do the same thing, and again, I know for our newer customers, we'll probably create a couple of more system views, so they by default will come up here to search by, so you don't have to kind of guess, or even the part number search. I think some of this will probably make it system views, so that you can they'll become available for you without you messing with the filters. But it's really easy. That's why I want to show you this. It's really easy to achieve this with these new advanced related data filters, right? So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do auth filter this time. Guess what we are gonna select, right? Now up in here. So we want to basically find, look for stuff in our NSN award history, right? Guess which table we should select. We can see a few different ones. We can see NSN part that goes to award history. We can see parts that goes to an award history, which goes to the cage, which goes to awardee stats. We can even do that, but I think our data is really here. We don't have to go down too many levels down, so we are really our cage code should match with this award history table. Now, another way to kind of quickly verify if that's what you need is really, if you right click, I'm gonna open a different tab just so we can quickly verify what we're doing. So if you wanted to verify what you were doing, if you go to the award history, you could see this has award history for everyone, right? Which then has the cage code, has the NSN, has the dates, all that stuff, right? So technically, if you were to search one of those cage codes here, I could do search here. I'm gonna just search for cage. I could see basically for this company what other I could see basically what NSNs they have, right? So they've got, wow, this company has a lot of awards. Now, as you can see, they have like 5,000 NSNs. So imagine searching those by hand. It would be kind of really impossible. It's really hard to do, right? Because there's just too many. Even if you were export, import, whatever, it's just too many NSNs to search by and see if there's something open for these 5,000 NSNs, right? So I think this is a good ideal use case. So now, we know that this data is in this table, But how do we tie this table to our main RFQs table, which has the open contracts, open RFQs table, right? Again, we select the word history, and the same thing, really easy. We have to find our cage code column equals. I'm gonna use that same company which had like 5,000 prior words. I think they should probably see a lot of stuff open, right? I'm hoping. Let's see. Again, it's that simple. I selected a related data table that we want to search by, and the system in the backend will automatically do the relational mapping, all that stuff, right? All you have to really guess or know is where is my data, which I know in this case it's in the history table, and then I just select my cage code matching with that. I'm gonna hit apply, and and then I'm gonna see if there's anything open for this. Okay, so this company now, it could be really bidding on all these contracts, you know what I mean, because they have had an award with all of this in a sense. And if we wanted to verify that, let's verify it. If you don't believe me, let's verify it, right? If I open any of these, again, this is the cage code that we said had at least one award, right? So if I open the NSN history, 1WZZ2 here, see that in the list? Let's try another one. 1WZZ2. 1WZZ2. Here, they're in the list. As you can see, for this company now, they could be losing out a lot of contracts, right? Unless they know how to do this. Doing this manually, it's a pain in the ass, unless you've like really advanced, in-house team of developers to kind of do this for you. It's almost impossible. So with our system, within 10 seconds, we were now able to search this, and now I could save this as a new view. I'm gonna call it my, my award RFQs, right? And again, if we wanted to test another cage code, that's why the nice thing is this doesn't just work with one cage code, right? If you wanted to check your competitor to see, again, this could be your cage code or it could be someone else's cage code. You want to see what awards they have won and what's open for them. It is another cage code from our list. We know that there's at least one open contract for this. I'll hit apply and do the same thing. You should see, okay, this company has a handful of open contracts. Okay, and here, if I open up the NSN again for this company, I should see at least one prior award for that cage code, which is 12050, right? And as we can see, they're in the list. So technically, they have a few contracts open that they can go and bid on those. Again, I think it's super useful to kind of use this related data filter search. But I'm gonna do one more use case for you. Okay, one more use case. Okay, so the third use case is, and I love local manufacturers, right? I love you guys to find local manufacturers that you can create relationships and work with them. And I think we've shown videos where you can find the local manufacturers via zip code and so on. But the challenge is, how do you find manufacturers which currently have RFQs open, right? So we don't want to just find any manufacturer that's just been listed. How do we find manufacturers that have currently open contracts with the DLA, right? So that's why I still love doing a local zip search. So this time we're gonna use Miami zip codes. But let's see how we do this with our new advanced search related data filter, right? I'm gonna do the same thing. Come here, add filter. I'm gonna go related tab here, add filter. This time, and again, we wanna basically select, let's see. So approved sources. So we're gonna get down to, first of all, we wanna know where that data is, right? See, even I'm confused now. So if I open one of these NSNs, let's see. the part number is associated with the manufacturer. These are the approved sources, right? So technically it's the same table that has our part numbers, right? So if we're knowing that, we just go back, we want to select the same thing, we want to select the parts. This time we want to select the cage code. So let's see, company name. Actually, we can't do that. We want to select something else. See, even I was confused for a second. So yes, we have here. Let me show you. So yes, we have our cage codes here, and if we knew the cage codes, we could search them by cage codes, right? Or even company name. But we don't know. But the zip code is not in this table, right? The zip code is really in the approved sources table, which is linked to the cage code, right? If I go to the approved sources, this is where we'll see that we have the full data on these companies, including the zip codes and addresses, cities and stuff, and even email sometimes, right? So what we want to do now, in this case, we want to go down to this level, right? We want to select approved parts, which goes down to the cage code, which then goes down to approved sources, right? It's like multi-level down. Do you see? Again, I know you guys are not technical, but this is just really crazy, right? That you could go down this level of search with a quick query like this without creating advanced SQL queries and stuff like that, or reports or whatever. This is super simple, right? Again, you just select which table, which end table has your data. In this case, it's the approved sources, and we want to select our zip code. We can do equal, or we can do, starts with. I would love to do starts with, because I want to see. It seems like anything, this is Miami, but probably anything that's starting with 33, I'm guessing, is also closer to Miami or in Miami. So let's hit that and see what we find. Okay, so over 2,000 contracts of companies in or around Miami that have open contracts. How can we verify this? Let's see how we verify this. We're gonna select here any NSN pop up. This is gonna show us approved parts along with the cage codes of the manufacturers or approved parts, approved sources, right? Again, if we come here, we don't see, we don't have the zip code here, so we can't verify it. But how can we verify? See, the cage code is a link, which means we can click on it. So we're to click on this, which will open up our approved source record. And I know we have to probably get this to be more pretty, but you can see that they have for latitude Florida 3030 zip code. So it is matching with our query. We can try another one. Let's see, try this one. And again, this is not, the thing to know is that it's not, as long as one is matching, it's gonna show you the data, right? Because in this case, see, we have other companies which may not be in that zip code. We just find RFQs that have at least one approved source which has that zip code. And in this case, we found that this company had it, right? Let's try another one in the list. And this is good. This is good because I think, and all manufacturers can't be located in that zip code, right? It could be different parts of the country, but as long as there's one of them that you are targeting, and you can quickly check, like, hey, which one of these was in that zip code that we can go and bug and basically connect with. It's probably this one, I'm guessing. Not this one. This one. Here, matching our starts with search, right? Makes sense. And I think, again, this is amazing because this is gonna, again, open up so many opportunities for you guys to go and connect with your local manufacturers, knowing that they have RFQs open, right? So that you can go, it's doing like a reverse search, right? I think sometimes people go first find the manufacturers and then sit and wait when RFQs become available for them, so they can go bid. But this is the opposite. This is going from the main important data, which is open RFQs, tying it back to manufacturers which are local to you, so you can go and talk to them and connect with them, right? So that's amazing. One last thing I want to show you as the fourth use case, and then we'll call it a day. And again, I showed all the examples on this RFQs page, right? But again, this is a global feature in Loocey. So even if I were to go to the bidding board here, and we know in our bidding board, if we go open an item here, we will have, you know, supplier codes which have our part numbers, right? But let's say you bid on something and you forgot, you know, which RFQ is it that you put it in or whatever, right? You could do the same thing. Let me show you how. We come to the all RFQs, filters, related tables. We know, let's say we want to find something as a small bug. I guess I have to click on add filter a couple times, 2 times, but we want to find related data, right? Which again, we saw that they were in the supplier codes table, which had the part number. All right, let's see, what is the part number? Part number. Here equals to this. So I copied that. And let's say again, you could do it with other columns too, maybe pricing or something, right? You forgot where you put that that pricing or part number. You could search now with, again, related data, and it's gonna find it for you. And if I were to open this, we can verify this was the, I don't know, I forgot which one I opened, right? We can verify that this was the one that had the part number that we were searching. When we were searching for you know, this part number which I've copied, yeah, it's matching. Okay, so again, this advanced filtering, I think related data-based filtering is a game changer. I think this is going to open up again. There's so many other use cases which I'm not even talking about, but I think I'll give you the basic hints, the basic 4 I gave you today. But you can go wild as far as searching and finding stuff that really meets your needs. One thing I am gonna say is that be sure to subscribe to the channel. Next week there's gonna be another video which is gonna enhance this even more. But you say, Michael, how can you enhance this even more? It's amazing already. Yes, we're gonna enhance it even more. And I'll give you a quick hint. I didn't want to give you a hint, but I'll give you a quick hint. How are we gonna enhance filters? So far, all of our filters work with you selecting the columns, right, and then selecting the condition, and then putting in the volume, right? Now, that works great, amazing, right, for most use cases. But we've had clients where they say, you know what, I have, let's say, 50,000 part numbers that I want to search by. How do I enter 50,000 part numbers in this list? That's impossible, right? How do you do that? Well, we are gonna have a way for you to enter 50,000 part numbers or whatever, and then use our filters, right? So in other words, we're gonna make it so that the value that you enter is dynamically coming from one of your lists. That's the big hint. I'm gonna stop there. Just subscribe. Be sure to pay attention to the channel. We'll have that video soon as well, but I think that's also gonna be an amazing feature where now it's the power of dynamic data that's coming from your other tables, and mixing it with the search queries to find exactly what you want to find, right? Anyway, that feature is coming soon. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching.